Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Before I get going with this video, I just want to take a moment to thank our friend Krill very much for your donation to our channel's PayPal account. It was a pleasure speaking to you and a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for your support. This video is to bring you guys up to speed on the meetup that I'm planning to host this September here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And it's also to address some of your questions about why I moved to Mexico. One of the main reasons I moved to Mexico really came down to dollar and cents and value for my money. Now, of course, Mexico is a key player in North America in the agricultural sector, particularly the organic sector. Mexico is the source of most produce in North America, so it made sense to me to be where the food is. In addition to that, the cost of food is very, very low here in Mexico. Abundance of food, a strong organic sector, and a low cost of food really meant food security long-term for me and my family. I did look into moving to other Canadian cities when I was presented with the possibility of selling my house, and the price was just unreasonable. When you consider high cost of rent, high cost of utilities, low paying jobs, I mean, there just seemed to be so many obstacles, so it really came down to bang for my buck, value for my dollar, and I believe I get a tremendous amount of value for my dollar here in Mexico. Now, I was considering moving to a Canadian city, but when I started to look at the high cost of rent, the additional cost of parking, utility costs, it was just unreasonable. So it really came down to me wanting some value for my money. I don't mind paying the bills. I just want to feel like I haven't been robbed and got some value. And even if I had moved to a Canadian city where I felt like I was getting some value for my housing costs, I still had 6 months of bad weather to contend with, etc., etc. So I decided to move here because I know I'm going to get better value for my dollar. Now, I live in a very new area. So most of the condos in this area are new, very, very low crime rate, mostly working class people. And of course, Mexico's got a tremendously strong middle class, but we'll get to that in a minute. A lot of young families, and everybody keeps their homes and their yards very nicely. I have a 2-story, 3-bedroom condo, 3-bathroom, nice dining area, large kitchen. I've got a fully contained, secured outdoor space where I have, a seating area, dining area, and a barbecue area. I pay 12,000 pesos a month. So that is about 800 Canadian dollars or 600 American dollars. That includes my water and my internet. My propane and my electric are separate, but those two are very low, maybe both equal about $100 a month. I live about 5 minutes from downtown Puerto Vallarta and of course Los Muertos Beach, which is one of the most famous beaches on the Pacific coast. In addition to that, I'm very, very close to major shopping areas, and Mexico has all the same box stores and stuff that Canada or the US has. I'm within minutes of Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, Starbucks, Subway sandwiches, Burger King, you name it, it's all here. If you got it at home, we've likely got it here. I really don't utilize those types of services and products very often. I buy locally. Of course, Mexico really doesn't allow for a lot of imports. They're a very strong export country, but what strong manufacturing equals is jobs. They don't import a lot of products, they make them here, and this has helped Mexico really turn around its economy and become a country with one of the fastest growing middle classes anywhere. And all of this is good news. I really wanted some opportunity for my kids, and of course I have lived in Mexico before. I've lived here for short periods of time, and I lived here once for a 10-year block. My sons Eddie and Exton were born here in Puerto Vallarta in the state of Jalisco, and my 3 older boys grew up here. Now, I'm pretty familiar with Mexico. I've been here over 40 times, and like I said, have lived here on and off. I'm really familiar with other areas, and that's what made this area so important to me. I said I moved to Mexico, but primarily I moved to the Bay of Banderas, to the city of Puerto Vallarta. And of course, Mexico, like Canada, the US, has cities you don't want to visit, you don't want to go to. Every country has that, but that is not reflective of the entire nation. The area I live in has an extremely low crime rate, an extremely fast-growing middle class, tons of opportunities for entrepreneurs, both domestic and foreigners wanting to come here and start businesses. The ecosystem is so intact. We have such a sustainable system. The Pacific Ocean is crystal clear. Even when you're out quite a ways off the coast in a sea taxi or something like that, and you look down, man, you can see down a long ways, and you can see the most amazing tropical fish in tremendous abundance. And that sort of sea life is pretty reflective of healthy, clean water. In addition to that, for those of you who aren't familiar with this area, of course, there's the Pacific Ocean, there's a landmass, and then that landmass runs straight into the base of the Sierra Madre mountain range, which is extremely dense, thick jungle. Now, in some areas, the space between the ocean shore and the Sierra Madres is quite deep, and there'll be, a lot of housing, businesses, and stuff in that area. In some areas, it's very shallow, and there's just a highway, actually, going between the shoreline and the Sierra Madre mountain range. So this is very, very much a dense jungle region. With that said, a dense jungle canopy is the most incredible source of clean air. It is the most incredible naturally occurring air purification system. So we've got good air quality, we've got good clean water quality. We've got a tremendous amount of agriculture and a lot of organics available. So all of those things combined with, a lower cost of living really made a lot of sense to me. And in addition to that, this area boasts 365 days a year of sunshine. Yeah, it rains, but it rains at night. It comes down like, oh my God, but it's over in about 5 minutes. So for families that want to take their, kids away, or just a getaway, with a loved one, want to get away with friends, or planning a wedding, or any number of things, people will pick Vallarta over other places because of the guaranteed weather. So that means an incredible amount of tourism. In fact, this is a very small area. We see approximately 7 million tourists a year. So money is changing hands. New people coming in daily, weekly, monthly. Cruise ships are coming in steady. Sometimes there's as many as 3 big cruise ships docked at one time. Flights are coming steady, so people are coming and going. New money's constantly coming in. And in a small economy like this, a small area where there's so many people coming and going and so much money changing hands so steadily, that tends to create a lot of opportunity. And many foreigners, of course, come here to start businesses based on that strong economy. In addition to that, it creates quite an entrepreneurial spirit amongst young Mexicans. So there is a real sense of hopefulness and a real sense of future, and that concept that if you work hard, you'll really get ahead in life. And I love all of that, and I wanted all of that for my kids. In addition to that, I just want to quickly add that my 2 sons are Mexican nationals, and of course, university is free for Mexican nationals, and many of the university courses are in English. People are happy. I just don't see the type of narcissistic abuse being inflicted on people like I was seeing in Canada, the US, or the UK, or any number of other countries. We've got friends here at the channel from all over the world, and if I left your country out, don't think I'm not thinking about you. I had a great chat today with a friend who's in Italy. I've had the opportunity to speak to friends here at the channel from all over the world, so I know narcissism is pretty widespread, but I will say one of my observations has been is it tends to inflict the first world countries first and foremost. Now, I know India's been pretty hard hit, but by average, the first world countries are hit much harder with narcissism and the abuse that, of course, stems from that. What I see here is a real happy society of people. I see a public display of love and affection and couples holding hands. And I see parents and children laughing together and children laughing and playing. And there's a lot of laughter in the air. And that was something I hadn't heard out in public in Canada for a very long time. I'll tell you something else is I believe, you can really change your mood by your environment. There's something incredible about sitting on the beach and having the sun on your body. I mean, it's an incredible feeling. There's something incredible about swimming in the ocean. There's something incredible about the feeling of your feet in sand, especially warm sand like we have here. So there's a lot of really great sensations that really invoke positive, happy feelings, and all of that's just really exciting to me. Now, I'm an artist, and I know many of you are, and of course this area is so well known for its incredible artists and that great vibe of creativity that is seen everywhere. I mean, there is such an abundance of color and sounds and sights. It's really very stimulating and very exciting. And one thing that you really don't see a lot of in Canada is artists making a living from their art. It's just not that common. Where here in Mexico, many artists make a living with their art, and that is largely due to the fact this is a pretty small area and we get 7 million tourists a year and money's constantly changing hands. So this is all really, really exciting news, both for tourists and for locals, and it's just been a wonderful experience. I'm really excited about the meetup this September. I know this is not a convention. A convention implies to me that there is a speaker and a bunch of people looking on. That's not what I want to see happen. I recognize that one of the biggest problems within our community is self-imposed isolation. I want to get together with you guys. I don't want to create a sterile environment. I want us to go to the beach. I want us to drink too many margaritas. I want us to play beach volleyball. I want us to go out dancing at night. I want us to form real human connections, to form friendships. And the reason I've put off talking about it is because, of course, we deal with narcs here at YouTube as well, of course. This doesn't just happen in our homes. This happens in, our cyber reality as well. And of course, there's been these ongoing smear campaigns against me. And I just figured I would launch all the information on August 1st, so please watch for that. That gives us approximately 6 weeks for everybody to get their ducks in a row and make their plans and arrangements. But it really limits the time that people can pursue smear campaigns and sabotage and all the other nonsense so typical of narcs. One more thing that was really important to me when I decided to move to Mexico was opportunities for the kids. But I'm not talking about just, a job opportunity. I wanted my kids to push the creative limits. I wanted my kids to push themselves as potential entrepreneurs. Now, I've been nudging them to start a YouTube channel, and of course, they're both a little shy, and well, you'll see if you check out their video. They're a little awkward, but to be honest with you, I thought they did a hell of a job. My son Eddie is a pretty outgoing guy. He's extremely athletic. Exton loves photography and cinematography, and so those two things combined I thought would make a real good partnership. So I've encouraged the boys to start a YouTube channel. Last night they posted their first ever video. I've put a link below and I want you guys to check it out because I think that what you see in this video, though yeah, they're having a couple beers and Eddie does cuss a little, they are really showing you what they do every day, where they go, how they live, what their activities are. When my kids were in Canada, they sat mindlessly, blank-faced, all day, every day. Yeah, they had some part-time jobs, but they weren't really connecting with nature. They weren't really active. They weren't getting enough exercise. They weren't passionate about life. And I do believe that when you check out this video, you will see how they have been revitalized and, how their lives are changing so quickly. They don't sit around in a basement, rec room with their buddies, dwelling on the fact that there's just not the same opportunities available to them that had been to generations before them. That's not happening here. So if you have been considering moving to Mexico but think, oh, I can't do that because I have kids, let me tell you, I raised all 5 of my kids here, and it changed their lives. My kids learned from a very early age how to resolve issues, how to deal with people one-on-one. We don't live in a cyber reality. We live in a real human connected reality here. And I really want you guys to check out the video, mostly because I'm hoping you'll watch it and leave a thumbs up, because I really did push them to do this. And, you know, they keep saying, oh, Mom, nobody will care, you know, that we're outdoors. Well, I think it's important that young people are out there physically active. They're getting lots of exercise. They're interacting with people one-on-one, not through a computer screen. I mean, that's the reason I want to have the meetup, so we can interact one-on-one. I think this is important, not just for survivors of narcissistic abuse, but for everyone. There seems to be this void of human contact. So please check out their video. Please leave a thumbs up. They would be absolutely thrilled. And you would help to prove me right about this YouTube channel. And I really wanted to push Exton to kind of extend himself a little when it comes to, you know, editing and cinematography and photography, because he's very passionate about this. And I was hoping this would spur him on. And for his first video, I think he did a heck of a good job putting this video together. Have been considering relocating, and you've got questions about what it's like to live in Mexico, what the policies and procedures are, please email me at kimwilsontv@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help you through that process. I know a lot of you have been thinking about it. I received lots of emails about people asking me what it's like to live here. It's bloody fabulous. That's what it is. I'm so happy I moved back to Mexico. I can't even tell you. It's been incredible. And I am so looking forward to the video on August 1st with all the details of the meetup. And if anyone has any ideas or anything they want to see happen at the meetup, please email me about it, and let's start brainstorming. And it's time to start moving on this. I'm really excited. Guys, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I love you lots, and I hope you're having a great narc-free day as I am.